Hey, yo, it's the Building Downtown. You can follow us on social media at the Building DT. You can follow, subscribe to the show on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast from. I'm your host, Jason Kelly. You can follow me at JKellyMMA. You can follow my co-host, Kirill Kasatskiy, at Apostle Rap. So you can follow my co-host, Amy Barton, at Ames Bell. KOTD Grand Prix quarterfinals went down Sunday, November 22nd. This is a recap for you. We had the West versus the South, and somewhere in Australia, a man named Steve Finch is losing his fucking mind right now. Main event of the card, Dizaster versus Family Man Eyez. People got opinions on this. Some of them say robbery. That's not right. My opinion, which you're going to hear furthermore on the show, I think Eyez won. But between the three of us, we're going to discuss what the fuck happened there and the rest of the tournament. So, Eyez versus Diz. I think all three of us were looking forward to this more than we ever thought we would be. Probably never even thought we would see this battle. Not many people did. Diz definitely was the favorite going in. I thought Eyez could probably cause some problems for him, but in my opinion, Eyez, it was no body bag, it was no destruction, but I think Eyez won, for speaking 10-9 must rounds, it's 10-9 for all three rounds for Eyez, in my opinion. I can elaborate on that further, but I'd like to get some of your thoughts, either one of you. Who's up first? Who wants to chomp at the bit first?
I can go first. I can touch a bit on rounds. I got a lot to say about this. I don't know if we're gonna go into all of that, but if we're gonna go into rounds, and if you want to know, like my opinion, I don't know, in terms of judging, I would have given it 2-1 to Eyez. I think Diz had the first round. I think the last two were definitely up to Eyez, on Eyez. I don't know if it's a little favoritism going on, or is it like I've said before, you work for your reputation first, and then your reputation works for you, because that was definitely a close battle. You know what I mean? So maybe Dizaster's status helped him edge that a bit, but there's definitely no body bag from any side. I don't think, you know what I mean. I think it was a close battle. I think that what I was trying to say to get into more a bit. I mean, Dizaster is great, and he came great, and he can concentrate and all that. But it's I don't want to say regular, but it's the way Dizaster is. He's good, and it was your good Dizaster. You know what I mean? And I think because I'm just not used to seeing Eyez or a style like Eyez, I didn't see a lot of that. It was a lot more refreshing, and it got to me better. I think he delivered better. I think Dizaster was, again, a lot yelling and a lot of emotions, and Eyez touched on that in one of his rounds too, that Dizaster's emotions are going out of control, and Eyez kept switching flows, kept bringing emotions, pauses, emphasizes where it's needed, you know what I mean? Then he took a bit of a Dizaster style there in the first round too, flipped it. I loved all of it. Definitely a fucking classic battle instantly. Mm-hmm. But I would have thought Eyez won, but I'm not mad that decision made this way. That's definitely not a frag Diz moment.
No.
It's closer than that. You know what I mean? But I would still think that Eyez took that, but it is judged. No, not judged by me.
All right. Round one on you, Amy.
No, I mean I rock with all that. I thought Eyez won. Unlike you, I did not think it was a clear 3-0. I was also in the 2-1 camp. I think Diz probably took the first round. But I don't know. So here's the thing with Diz. I feel like I bring up Diz a lot on this show, and even just when we're talking. But Diz is what I always say. Diz is gonna Diz, and Diz dizzed tonight. And the thing is, with the Diz we got tonight, I'd rather have that Diz than some of the other Dizzes we see, because he was not lying. He was focused. He was very focused, which is how you want Diz. And he did keep it in control. He even was within time, pretty much, which was, something worth noting in any event that he's on. So I'll say that. But I was literally just chatting with somebody about this. The thing with Diz, and I'll go so far as to say this also applies to a Daylight, a Pat, maybe even an A-Ward, is if you're different enough, and however you battle, like whatever it is, your style, your demeanor, your antics, like whatever it is, if you're unique enough, it becomes cyclical. You have to keep doing it because it's what sets you apart. Now, on top of being unique, Diz is one of the absolute most talented in the world. I agree with that. But what the downfall to that is, to me, is when you do that and you run with it, you have to keep running with it because it's the reason you are who you are. When that happens, I feel like all your battles, more or less, are the same. So that's where I go with Diz. Is like, I'm glad we got a focus Diz. He got his rounds off cleanly, which is always nice to see when it happens for him. He didn't completely lose his shit, which is nice. He didn't go over, which is amazing. But I just feel like we heard the same shit we always hear from him. It's the same cadence, it's the same bars, it's the same. I was here. I'm the Mount Rushmore. I'm an old head. I've been doing this for 20 years. You took a break. Who are you? Here am I. And it obviously works for him. He's the only person in this tournament
See, that's
that's
what I mean.
lost three times and won.
Sorry for stopping you. You can keep going. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't want to call him regular Diz, right? Because that would be kind of disrespectful. But it was Diz that you get, like Diz. You know what I mean? There was nothing like wow, because he's good and he came good the way he is excellent, right? And I feel like Hayes gave me that wow. Sorry, keep going.
Well, I think, and to be fair, like we like Hayes around these here parts, I realize, but Hayes is also, the guy that came out of retirement and the Saya boy and the guy that didn't get enough respect. And so it's easy when you're used to Diz doing Diz to see anybody who's not doing Diz do themselves well. It feels refreshing. And, how many other people have impersonated Diz? Plenty. Now, I thought it was funny this time. I thought it was funny when Hayes did it. But, I felt like it was just Diz that we always get. I mean, everybody in every battle, it never fails. Diz is cooking. Diz is crazy. Diz left Earth. Diz this. And it's almost always positive unless you're talking about the people that are always going to hate him no matter what he does. And I think he does do a lot of things well. Obviously, he's Diz. But I just get tired of what I feel like is the same battle. Now, he does have some fire bars. He is the best just about with the pen. Like some of these bars, like we were saying, there were people saying after the fact, even I think Steve said this in Talkback, had he slowed down when he was actually spitting his shit and people could hear what he was saying, I think it wouldn't have been as big an argument that he ended up taking it, because he said a lot of shit. He does write intricate, amazing stuff, but at the same time, the stuff that's not those few different things per battle, all the rest of it's the same to me. And it's like, I'm babbling on now, but the example I used earlier is like Metallica. Right. So Metallica has some of the most dedicated fans on earth, and Metallica has been around forever and ever and ever. You cannot find me a Metallica album from early in their career when they had made it, but earlier in their career, and from 20 years later that I feel like is that different. If you like what they do, you're going to love it, and they always deliver, but it's the same shit over and over. It sounds the same. It plays the same. It has the same reviews. The people like it the same. And Diz is that to me. So in the end, I felt like Hayes is the short answer. I feel like Hayes did win. I feel like he did enough to win. It's not a fucking robbery. Close battles are not robberies. But, it is what it is. I think that, as we've all said, though it's not rigged, this is what was supposed to happen. And, Diz and Saynt will be good. So there we go. I just think it was a shame to see it go that way.
I was honestly surprised, though. You know what I mean? I was almost like I've posted on his on Family Man's wall before even it was announced. I was just like, regardless what happens, you know what I mean? I think it was a great performance, and I think you got this. I was honestly shocked that, but at the same time, I can't say that it was a frack situation.
No, but to play devil's advocate for a second. So, like you guys are both saying, and I'm not saying I disagree with you guys or anything, but to play devil's advocate, Diz came with what Diz does. Diz, like Amy, you just said, we had a great Diz performance, better than some of the other, or at least in your opinion, you enjoyed that performance more than some of his other performances, right? So is it like a thing where, say Michael Jordan goes out and he scores 22 points and has 7 assists, and it's like, what the fuck? That's it? Why don't you have 40 points, right? But it's like we're expecting so much more. And now Diz said this exact thing in the face-offs on Saturday, the day before the event. People like they try to give Family Man Hayes some sort of pass, like he's this new cool concept they haven't seen, but Diz wants him held to the same standards and respect as a 20-year vet, just like he is. So, and another thing too, Roan said in the judge recap, or whatever you want to call it, he voted for Diz. He said he thinks Diz won it based on just that battle, not taking anything into account from past battles. So if you don't even think like, oh, this Diz battle compared to a past Diz battle, you're not comparing Diz performances just based on that. Do you think that, gives Diz any more or at least the judges gives it any more warrant or whatever for them selecting Diz? Like, do you think we're overlooking something by saying, yo, we got Diz for what Diz does, but at the same time, Amy even said he's one of the best with the pen, one of the best to do it, right?
I have something to add to that. I was gonna say that's the thing is Diz is great, but you don't see Diz battle every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Typically.
So when you see this battle, it's a main card or whatever happens, and it's an explosion and it's gone for a while, right? And then he pops up again. Here you've seen him battle 3 times in less 2 months.
Yeah.
Right. So his greatness kind of dulls out because it's too much of it.
Okay. Amy?
Is what I think. And it's not to say that he's getting worse. It's just that there's abundance of it and you get used to it.
I get what you're saying.
Amy? I mean, I don't know if too much of it is the terminology I'd use, but like look at it like this. Here's an example.
Hey, I'm an immigrant. Sorry, don't take everything literal, man.
No, I think
might have worded wrong. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to play with words and pick.
No, I think you said exactly what you meant. I think that's just something that, especially Diz fans, that'll be the first people to come out the woodwork and be like, you're just hating. Why would you not want more greatness?
I'm not hating at all.
I know.
I'm saying he does great things. It's just that you don't see it on a weekly basis like you do now. So that's why it doesn't seem like such a special thing. Because it's like, I just seen this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so here's my example, though. Jason, to go back to your Jordan example. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're at the apex of whatever you're doing, then it's hard to continue topping yourself or switching it up. If you ever try to. If you never try to, I mean, I'm not saying I don't think Diz tries to do better, be more focused or anything, or that he hasn't tried to, improve, if you can call it that, for him in the past number of years. But like, think of my example to get away from, battle rappers in this tournament, which you're never going to change anybody's mind on if they're already a fan of, is let's look at like Eminem, right? So Eminem's been around for how long? And this part's not up for debate because we're not going to be on the show for 10 hours. But like, of the people that say or believe that he's one of the best to ever do it, at least as a writer, let's say that's true. If that's the case, and the dude puts out an album every 3 years or 5 years or 3 in a year and a half, like he did a few years back, do you go, oh my God, it has to be fire and I'm going to love it so much more because it's been 2 years since he put out an album? Or do you go, oh my God, Kamikaze came out 3 months after this other one, or Music to be Murdered By was in the last year? Like, how is he so much better? Like, you can do something different. You can.
No, I think to say to that, I think there should be a break in between any artist putting out anything. I think there should be, once an album comes out, there should be at least a little bit break before the next one comes out. And when we're talking Kamikaze and Music to be Murdered By, that looked like a legit strategy from early 2000s when you put out a mixtape and then you put out an album. So right. Kamikaze was a warm up for Music to be Murdered By. It's just that on that fucking level, it was a legit album instead of a mixtape.
Well, but the point isn't artists putting out albums. The point is,
sorry, I don't know why I said all that. But... Here you go.
Somebody
who's been smoking.
Somebody who is at the top of their game consistently, which is the parallel I'm drawing between an Eminem and a Diz. Of which they're fans of each other. I don't think you go, I mean, as an Eminem fan, you might go, okay, I thought Relapse was trash, but Kamikaze was dope, and holy fuck, Music to be Murdered By is one of the best albums I've ever heard, Jason. But you don't go, you either like the album or you don't. You don't ever go, oh, but he always does the same thing. Eminem's gonna Eminem, and it doesn't ever get any better. You know what I mean? Like, you always go, you either like him or you don't.
That's how I felt about Revival, though. That's how Revival felt to me. Eminem's doing the same thing and it's getting old. But then, boom, Kamikaze changed my mind.
Right, and that's exactly my point.
Again, random shit. I don't know what I'm saying.
Eminem's always going to Eminem, but he always tries to find a way to change something or do something better or do something new. So that's where I say with Diz, like, yes, Jason, I get what you're saying with the Jordan thing, where it's like, if the guy is always top level, is he always at the top of his game, how much more can we expect from him? Mm-hmm. The first argument is which Diz is Diz at the very top of his own game, not of the game, of his own game. So there's also that. You can be at the top of everybody else's game and be the guy that beats most guys. But if you doing what you always do just happens to beat everybody else because you're a good writer, then great. But you're not doing anything different. Like, and it pains me. I was saying this earlier, when to hear him continually be like, in 20 years and 20 years and 20 years and all this time, and when you've been doing this, I've been doing that. And again, I'm not going to shit on him. Just like when we talk about John Jones and we talk about all these, like even in Anderson, these fighters, I'll sit here all day long and talk about how great Diz is. I'm not a fan of him. I don't get off on watching him. I don't hate him either, but I'll sit here all day long and tell you how good he is at what he does. But I don't see that it changes from battle to battle. It's, like there's a lot of, I'm sorry to say it, I don't give a shit who gets angry about this. There is a lot of filler. It's well written. It's great shit. It's a lot of words people will never use. It's stuff that relates to his culture or his religion. But it's like you're not talking to each other. And when you do talk to somebody, you oftentimes get in your feelings way too damn much about it, and you get off the rails. And now I'm off the rails because that wasn't your question. But my point is, yeah, I do think that people sometimes go, but Diz has to out Diz every time for him to be better. And I don't think that's either. But I do think that, Diz always does the same thing. The variables are, what mood is he in? What's he wearing? How many times did he practice? Is he going to go over time? Is he going too fast? Is he in his feelings? It's never the pen. It's never the skill. It's never the content. All of that is the same from battle to battle.
I like the way you put that too.
I was going to say, that's a very detailed critique opinion. That's very nice.
Yeah, I like the way you put
constructive.
that too about, being not so much the top of the game, but the top of his game. And it's like, is that, what we see beats other people? And it's funny because you and I messaging each other leading up to the Eyez Diz battle today. There was something we said about Ronda Rousey and Betch Kohei and everything, and then Ronda came up in that battle. And but it's the same type of thing, right? Ronda at the top of her game was beating these people, and she did what she does, and that beats these people. But that doesn't
she didn't have to
necessarily
be at the
mean
top of her game to beat.
Yeah, right. Her game worked. But when her game didn't work, it just did not fucking work anymore, right? So it's the top of their game. Like, it's not just it works. I really like the way you put that. Not to put it to the top of the game, but being at the top of their game. That was nice. That was poetic.
All right, well, I'm done. So y'all talk about the other three, and I'm just
you're fucking out of here.
Drop the mic.
I'm out.
This other tournament event of the night. So
well, no,
severe.
Wait. I do. I do want
sorry,
to
you got some more Diz?
No,
okay.
I just want to say I do feel like I intentionally went a lot farther down that path than I had thought I was going to at the beginning, because I do realize that I am quick to criticize Diz and quick to be like, this is gonna Diz, no matter who we're talking to or what we're talking about. That is how I feel. But I don't hate the guy. It's the same shit to me over and over again, and that's all. That's the short version of all that stuff that sounded so much nicer 5 minutes ago.
Another thing that you pointed out too is where you said that the Diz imitations, we've seen those so many times before. When Eyez was doing it, I was like, oh, this is awesome, I love this, and I really did appreciate it. But just now when you said that, I was like, yo, you're fucking right. How many times has that been done? Right? It's just, you get caught up in the moment. I didn't even think about that. So it's like, how much credit can you give someone for that? Are you doing it's like when people make fun of Thesaurus's face. It's like, if you're gonna do that nowadays, you got to really come with something unique,
right? Or right? Time's Eyes, or A Ward's God, or A.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Or Ilmac's height, whatever the fuck. Like, it's gotta be tight. By the way, shout out Time God Malathion there. That was fucking dope. I love seeing him in the building. I'm always up for hearing a good time.
Yeah, man.
But co-main event of the night, so to speak, the other tournament battle, So Severe versus Saynt. We've had the pleasure of speaking to both of them. We've had So Severe on twice, Saynt on once recently. Both guys, absolute gentlemen, great people to speak to. We're fans of them both. Amy, you and I were saying before the event even started, keeping it a buck. We're like, I never thought I'd really
keep it a stack.
What was it?
A bundle. Keep it a bundle.
Keep it a bundle.
Keep it a bundle.
Like Lush was saying, keep it in a bundle. It's like, if this would have been announced at anywhere, just out of nowhere. Sorry, like there's a KOTD card that's going on. There's 10 battles, and somewhere near the bottom to middle is so severe as Saynt. Cool, I'm tuning in. But, with the GP, everything's going on from getting some backstory from these guys. We said, I'm even more interested than I typically would be. The battle didn't shit the bed by any means.
Well, because you become more and more of a fan because you watch people get kicked off, right?
But I expect a little more heat from both sides.
Really? You don't think that was I thought
it was good. It was solid. It was a dope battle, but I expected a little more heat. Not personals, not digging at each other.
Is that because of the next battle?
But I think that the So Severe performances and the Saynt performances that we've seen from them respectively in this tournament were better than what they did against each other today.
I thought it was a solid battle.
It was, but I'm saying,
it was solid. It was. I wouldn't call that one something that's going to go down in the annals of battle rap history. I would watch it again, maybe once, to make sure I saw what I saw. But I felt like, okay, here's a couple short, quick takes. One, I know he said it on the show. I know Saynt was like, I'm focused. I'm super focused. I'm taking this so serious. And I believe it. Obviously, he was. I want the Saynt that even just was talking for 2 seconds today to be the Saynt that we have on the show. I want that Saynt.
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's no pen, it's no mind bender, but I am here for RX's reaction game.
Oh, you got a special place in your heart for RX. So you've been waving that RX flag for a while.
I like RX.
I know you do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not making fun of you, man. I'm just saying.
But I
know that you're a fan.
Come on now. You knew she was going to be all in there because of Saynt, and she was. Her face was all up in it.
Yeah.
But beyond that, there were a couple bars that I specifically liked that gave me a chuckle or whatever. But beyond those, I literally wrote in my notes, the third line down says, I really don't have that much to say about this, honestly. And it really felt like, and I led this thought with So Severe when I wrote it, but then it ended up feeling the same way throughout the rest of the battle with both of them. I felt like it was just kind of one of those battles where they were saying some shit, but they weren't really saying it to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I get in my feelings about this with a lot of battles where I'm like, I like the attitudes, I like the style, I like the delivery, you've got some great writing. But if I feel for the most part that you're not really talking to each other, y'all just talking around each other, I'm less into it.
Yep.
And I don't feel like either of these guys are bona fide killers when it comes to personals, but I was just like, I don't know. It was a decent battle. I'm not, like you said, it didn't shit the bed, but like I said when I messaged you when it was over, afterwards, I just was kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Something from the vibe.
I was expecting to feel mad about this.
Yeah. I was expecting to be fired up, something afterwards, and it was just like, yo, that was a dope battle. It was a cool battle. I liked it, but yeah.
But then I thought, okay, wait, let me step back a minute. Am I secretly low key salty because I wanted to see Severe go farther because he wasn't supposed to and nobody thought he would? I did. I stopped myself for a minute and I was like, and then I was like, no, man, I like Saynt too. And it was just, I don't know. If somebody who doesn't really watch battle rap or is a new fan or something was like, ooh, what about that battle that hadn't seen it?
Yeah.
I'd probably just be like, I don't know. I would say go ahead and watch that battle if you want to know a basic outline of what battle rap is. There's some good writtens, there's some good delivery, there's some good energy. There's a lot of good stuff.
What you're saying, it wasn't a Grand Prix battle. You're saying it wasn't a battle. It was just a show off.
I think we've gotten spoiled with the other Saynt battles in this tournament and the other So Severe situations in this tournament. Not that either of them are not good outside of this tournament, but everybody for the most part's been on their game. Saynt's, going places like we talked about as well, and Severe's dope. So I think that there's, with the hype that they've both rightfully gotten up to this point, it just didn't feel like any of their other battles in the tournament.
Like Kirill just said about Dizaster, when you don't see him battle for that long, as great as he is, his greatness seems even greater. Where we're seeing this, every 4 weeks, boom, 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 and the time periods are getting shorter now. I wonder if that's the thing that we're going to see is the competitors, some of them start burning out. Like and I don't know if that's the case in this battle, but that is something to think about. And I wonder if that is something we're going to see, especially from guys who aren't as seasoned
I don't
as
think
it
they
is.
burnt out at all. I don't know what the fuck you guys talking about. I think this was a great battle.
You think this was better than their other performances in the battle?
In a tournament?
Yeah, or in the tournament, sorry?
No, but you can't compare the moments and the opponents, right? It's different.
Well, no.
It's
Like, I
just
think
different.
we're saying over and over again that it was a good battle. It just didn't. It didn't feel, the vibe was, the energy was different. Like, you just didn't. Are you telling me that when that battle ended, you were sitting there like, yo, I can't wait to talk about this one. That was crazy. So severe to this and Saynt did that.
No. I thought it was I right away. I thought it was a 2-1, and I did it was a great performance by both of them. But I think Saynt took that mostly because of his third. That was insane. But the fucking I still think it was a solid battle. Like, for example, no disrespect, but look at the first battle of the night. Right, like that wasn't something I was too excited to talk about. You know what I mean? Even though I have things to say about that, it wasn't exciting. I was excited to talk about Saynt and Severe. It's just that Dizaster and Eyez came in and ruined the day after that.
So imagine
ruin the day. How fucking well fitting. Shout out to Avocado.
Shout out to Avocado. No, random interjected question here. Battle tournament related, but not people that are actually in the tournament. I distinctly recall Ness saying when this all first came out and he was not on the South Division roster that, he wanted to do it, he had been contacted, and that he had some personal shit going on.
Yeah.
Now, who knows what that means? I don't know what's going on with Ness.
Yeah. It could be good or bad, right? It could be he has a job. It could be, he's sick. It could be whatever, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
Right. But what I was gonna say is, like, you were talking about, the whole reason that made me think of this was burning out. Was like, maybe I dreamed this, but I feel like Lush spent like a solid 3 minutes talking about that they wanted to see Ness and that he was hoping Ness would do it, but obviously Ness wasn't there. And I swear to God that he went on about the fact that, like, Ness is somebody, or maybe it wasn't Lush, maybe it was somebody talking to Lush, but either way, it was said that Ness is somebody that is so intricate and so disciplined with his writing that seemed to be why he decided not to do the Grand Prix, and that it would have been hard for him to have those kind of turnaround times.
Oh, I never caught that.
Huh?
I never caught that. Holy shit.
I mean, Ness definitely goes into like hermit, head down, like 10 times more than even Thesaurus publicly does. Like, I'm battling, I'm gonna see you when I see you kind of mode, for sure. But I mean, I guess I don't know him well enough to know about his turnaround time, but it struck me as weird that he was like, I got personal issues, blah, blah, blah. That everybody in the tournament was like, we wanted Ness, we offered it, but he couldn't. And then that tonight the commentary was like, I don't know if he could turn it around that quick in this kind of setup.
I don't know if it was. I know you said that you think it was Lush, but you're not positive. It may have been someone else. If it was Lush, he was talking real fucking spicy since those face-offs, west versus south, right? So maybe he was just, just twisting the knife a little more. But who knows? Maybe that is Ness's personal issue, that he can't turn shit around this quickly. And you know what? That's not a knock on him by any means. I think that's better, saying this shit's not suited for me. I'd rather step back than go in and look like a fool. So if that is the real reason, I got no fucking problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious. Like, I was kind of sitting there like, that seemed like a weird, I don't know. I just feel like if that was the reason, I'd just be like, nah, bro, I can't do it.
And as far as the decision in the So Severe Saynt battle, Kirill, you said you agreed with it.
Yeah.
Amy, do you think Saynt got that one?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I think it's 2-1. It was a close battle, man. Like I said, I think they were going in 1-1 into the third, and Saynt's third was just insane.
Yeah, I agree. I think Saynt got it. I mean, by no means a body bag. By no means like
no, but Severe came out on top of this. You know what I mean? Even though he's out of the tournament right now, this moment worked for him. I think he gained a lot from it. There's no way this is a loss.
Yeah, he was humble in defeat too, which is nice. We saw it from Sharona a few weeks ago.
Well, he got things happening on internet all over the place. You know what I mean? Like he got his run the fade and the shoplifter, right? He's popping. Yeah. It's a good look for him and good luck to him, man. He did well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him back too. So fucking, I mean, I don't think any of us can complain about that. It wasn't robbery, and it wasn't like it was like razor close. Could have went either way. I think it's clear. Saynt won that battle.
I hate to be the person that like even brings this up because I think it's so annoying and we're all fatigued at this point. But I gotta be honest, like a lot of these guys do a lot of moving around. They'll get in your face and all that stuff. Saynt was so up in Severe's face, he could have counted his nose hairs. And I just need to know if these motherfuckers take COVID tests before these events.
They do not, apparently.
I mean, I think they
so
said
we've heard.
Right.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Right.
Allegedly.
Right? But
That's
either way, like,
word.
I'm not trying to even hate, but I was laughing to myself, like, I can't get that close to somebody else's face. Like, I don't want to be in somebody's face like that. Like on a normal
COVID
day
or no COVID, I don't want you
yeah,
in my space
right.
like that.
right. So then after that, I was like, well, at least Severe wears his mask. And then I was like, oh no. Anyway, so I was just curious if I was the only one that noticed that because yikes.
What about the other two battles? What about the what do you want to start with? Dot everything in the Snake Eyez? Or do you want to start with the Cipher?
Oh, Snake Eyez. Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Holy shit. And that's again.
That man went in, huh?
Holy fucking shit.
We talked about it, right? That felt the tournament level. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know nothing. I haven't seen both of them before. Either of them, you know what I mean? And when Dot was Dot Everything,
Dot
right?
Everything, yeah.
Dot Everything. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. When Dot Everything got off his first round, I was just like, oh shit, this is gonna be hard to top. I thought it was pretty nice.
Yep.
And then Snake came in,
just started kicking buildings over for fuck's sake.
Just ruined it, man. And with the choke, how he just attacked.
I know.
He was just like, no, fuck that. You ain't coming back.
He didn't even give him a fucking chance. Like, is he gonna get it back and going? You know, a lot of times you'll see some good sportsmanship. Like, oh no, give him a second. Come on, guys, shut up. Let him get. He was just like, fuck that. You choke. My turn.
Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious that it was a beating. No disrespect, right? But it was a beating, and he choked in the third, right? So Snake was just like, oh fuck this, you're choking now too. So he just went crazy. Oh my god.
The time god didn't even get the timeout after the choke. Snake started going in, and then Malakia goes time, and Snake just kept going. Holy shit.
I mean, you know it's bad that by the time you choke in the third round, nobody's even bothering to be like, no, bro, you got it. Come on, man, come on. And he's like, fuck it, I'm going in.
Yeah, Dot wasn't ready for that. I'm not sure what he's capable of, but today's performance, he was not up to par to the opponent. That's for sure.
He even said in his post-battle interview that he looked back at Snake Eyes' past battles, and he's like, "This is different." It's not like he took him lightly, but that was different. That was a whole different fucking beast he went against.
Well, this is a chance to shine, right? Chance. This is a chance to shine. This is a chance to shine, right? So, but he took it serious, and it worked for him. You know what I mean? That definitely sparked that fucking moment.
Yeah, no,
he got my attention, bro, because I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, that's how you make people pay attention, just like that. He had everything. Imagine that on a stage with a fucking crowd. Holy shit!
Talking about that, how do you think Lou would do with a crowd?
That's
again, no.
Depends on if the crowd wants a straight up rappy rapper type rapper, or if somebody wants like a show.
So now we'll use this segue into the battle that kicked off the night. Alias the Addict versus Lou Cipher. Lou Cipher.
Again, like I want to clear this up. I'm not hating or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm fairly new to this shit, and I'm just judging by the performances and stuff. And I think Lou had some good writtens there, but I think he is too quiet, and he mentions it and all that shit, and he's saying that he rides it as his brand and all that. But I don't know how that would work in a crowd.
With a crowd,
and at the same time, I think, excuse me, at the same time, I think that Addict is still a better writer, and I think he didn't take it as serious as Lou brought it because he almost lost that one.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? It's just, again, with these references to, I wrote it down somewhere there. I don't remember Goku and something about
a lot of anime shit.
You know what I mean? I was just like, I was writing with it for a moment, and then I'm like, I'm lost.
Yeah, the thing about Lou Cipher, I think, with a crowd on a stage, obviously I've seen him battle before, not live, but video with like an audience there. The thing that I think what would go against him is more so his opponent. If he had like a So Severe barking at him as an audience there, you're getting a crowd reaction, I think he's just going to get drowned out. And a lot of his material, a lot of his shit's not going to be digested by the crowd because it's too subtle. There's no stage presence.
You have seen him battle with a crowd?
Yeah, on video, not live.
And was it? Yeah, but was it working? Were people hearing him?
Yeah, but it's not. Like I said, I think it's more so what would really go against him in that situation is a guy with stage presence or a guy who could bark on you.
Just bully him, man. Just play the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, look at a guy who has much better and bigger stage presence, but still not a gigantic figure like physically. Arcane, right? When Pat battled him. That's, you know what I mean? So imagine something like a Pat or a So Severe or a Diz or anyone that can scream at you that has a bigger stage presence and is bigger physically too. That's going to go against him a lot, I think.
I mean, that
Alias is soft-spoken, so he's not like, rah, 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 rah.
But I don't know. In my opinion, I could tell that Addicts, Alias the Addict, like, again, I've only seen, like, I think a battle before this, one more before this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I could almost tell that he can do better. Yeah. I don't know why. I think that
That's fair.
I think he didn't take it as serious as he could be.
I don't know about serious, maybe about time restraints. I don't think he does anything really half-assed. I think he put it all
It's not that he didn't try, but I don't know why it seemed to me that there's more in there than that because it seemed like he was getting surprised by what Lou's getting up. It seemed like he didn't expect that at all because he expected Lou to be worse, I think.
Okay.
And then he started warming up and throwing more shit in there. But the third round, he was killing it. Yeah. If he would have brought a little more of the third and the first and second, it would have been no question at all. But because I think he didn't for whatever reason, I think he could be better, and I think it would have been a lot clearer that he won if he would have brought more of the third and the first and second. And then again, I'm just from a fans perspective. Right?
You're just some Russian living in Canada talking about battle rap?
Yeah. I'm into different kind of battle, right? So I don't.
I thought Lou took the battle 2 rounds to 1. Alias won. I wasn't fucking shocked or surprised. I was like, oh my God, we need all new fucking judges or anything like that. But I thought Lou got 1 clear and the second clear and Alias definitely fucking ripped apart the third. Amy, video game bars. How do you deal with those?
I'm not a gamer, so there's that. I don't know. I think overall, just Alias first round, aside from everything else, just lacked energy for me big time. I mean, he picked it up a little bit around the Lucy Lou moment, but I don't know.
Maybe that's a part of what I was saying too. I agree with you. Maybe it was like he didn't look like he was putting enough effort until he started seeing that Lou's coming hard, you know?
Mm.
And it looked like he started.
I mean, it was the first round, so who knows? But then also when Lou started his first round, I mean, you're gonna start a round by saying, I don't really know my rounds. Like, that's never a good start, I feel like. And like, look, I want to see more and more of Lou. I like Lou. Yep. I definitely, just as a personal preference, tend toward the rapper's rapper more than the performance rapper or the antics rapper. So I really like that about Lou. But, he starts out by saying he doesn't really know his rounds.
Sorry, hold up 1 second. But you bring it back a little bit. Break me in on this. What, a rapper's rapper and then a what?
Well, he's even said recently in the face-offs, like, he's there to rap. Like, he's not there for gotcha moments. He doesn't have some shtick. He doesn't have, he just raps. You know what I mean? Like, he's not out there looking for the big haymaker. He's not trying to be funny like Pat. He's not trying to do crazy shit like Daylight. He's not trying to be super intimidating like he raps, and he raps well.
But your punchlines, sorry, I'm just a little confused on this because your punchlines and all that shit, you're still looking for reactions. So
sure.
You rap,
sure, but I mean, compare him to like a So Severe. Severe also obviously focuses more on the rapping element of it, but he also likes to joke a little bit. He likes to have a little prop here and there. Maybe it's at face-offs. There are other angles. Lou was like, I'm gonna wrap circles around you, and that's what I do.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see it now. I get it now. Okay. Sorry,
Kirill even said during the So Severe Saynt battle, I forget which round it was of Severe's, something Severe did. Kirill said to me right away, he's like, "See, you can't do that on a beat. That's not rapping, right? You know what I'm saying, right?
The rhymes
it's not rapping, right? Like what you're saying, Amy, right? You can't. This isn't rapping. It's battling, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean, it sounds dope, right? But I can just because I've recorded I recorded well over 100 songs, right? And I'm sometimes good at it, but the fucking just from perspective of thinking of putting a song together and having those complex double, triple rhymes going like that back to back, you would really have to fuck the beat up or stop it or something. You know what I mean? At that point of the song.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not hating on people who aren't just straight rappers. Like I'll be the first one to be like, Pat Stay is hilarious, you know, and he's not out there rapping like Lou Cipher. But all that being said, I mean, I think it was for me for this battle, it was the little things.
Sorry, go ahead. I have a question for you after this.
It was Attic starting off slow. It was Lou talking about he didn't know his rounds. It was Lou being in the chat room on Twitch during Alias's rounds. I don't know. Like, I felt like there were so many little things that distracted me or that bothered me that I was like, I'm not feeling this battle. And I really like Lou. Addict, I like. I mean,
there was some sort of a gimmick with that, with the chat and shit.
I don't like that. I didn't know that's what he was doing.
Just in the chat room chatting. I saw him chatting in there. That's what he.
I thought he was trying to make it look like he's looking up his verses or something.
No, he was literally in the Twitch chat room chatting.
I see. The question,
which I might also add in closing on that point, is that right before the last round, when Alias was ending his round, and Lou was still on his phone when Alias ended, and he was like, he hadn't put it away yet, but it was like, your turn, bro. I was just like, I literally was like, man, you need to pay attention. Yeah. You know, like, do you, like, whatever. But, like, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. Like, I certainly don't battle, but it just struck me, and I was like, you need to pay attention. And then, you know, at the end, obviously, that didn't work out so well for him. But overall, yeah, no, I would say Lou 2-1. But it just wasn't. I don't know. I don't need that battle again.
No. So,
sorry, I had a question. Wait.
I had a quick question since we're talking about this categorizing a bit. What would you classify as Eyez as? Is he a rapper, or is he a...
I think Eyez is more of a rapper than an anti.
I was gonna say that too. So I'm getting that point then too. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think he definitely had his moments where he's like really was trying to hammer home the like Family Guy thing, and like he definitely has a few moments here and there where it doesn't feel like he's just like, I can rap and I'm gonna fucking rap. And I felt the same about when he was Saya. I feel like when he was younger, he was a little more like rah than he is now. Maybe not tonight. Like tonight, I was like, damn, Eyez. But no, I feel like he's more. And look, there are different levels. Obviously, levels is not the word I want, but like everybody falls on a spectrum, right? So you're not gonna have.
Yeah. No, I get it, but I was just clarifying for myself because I would categorize Eyez as a rapper for sure. Because but even what do you call it? Going off the performance tonight. You know what I mean? The way he played with his voice, the way he emphasized certain parts, the way he slowed down certain ways, you know what I mean? And everything had a flow and everything had an emotion, a certain emotion and a proper emotion attached to it. You know what I mean? That's how you play with music, and that's how you play with beats, and that's how you rap. You know what I mean? You could put that shit on the beat and it would sound good.
Well, I was going to
the thing that he did today.
That you said that. So the interesting thing too is that the flip side of that coin, depending on what you like when you're watching, right, is when you also have people that have such a steady cadence and are so on beat, sometimes that's off-putting because it's like this doesn't even feel partially like a battle. This just seems like you're spitting a track you are going to record and it's a cappella.
See, that's what I like though. That's my preference, right? It's just I know. I understand. No, I understand. And that's not what he did completely too, right? It's not. I'm not
saying he did. I was just speaking on the fact that you were like, yeah, you could spit that on a beat. I do like, and I just said I like Lou. He likes to just rap. I do like things that could be spit over a beat because they're that well put together. I don't like elongated moments.
I guess I feel like I might
song without the track.
I might have went a little too far by saying it put on a beat and stuff, but what I'm saying is it sounded good in terms of there was I almost want to say melodies. You know what I mean? He was changing his voice and there was a constant flow to it. You know what I mean? Though he stopped for a couple jokes here and there, but it was a consistent, nice flow, and it's switching between the flows, if not just the flow. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm coming through right or not, but
no, yeah, I can get with that. I was just saying, like, I would rather that than something that
it's not a complete
with no track.
It's not a complete polished song that he came out and did, but it was closer to it, and I prefer that. I like that. I like that a lot.
Jason?
But it's just me, right? That's just my opinion, right?
So you guys done your battle yet? Do we go to the judges' scorecards or?
I'll get
Well, no, I mean, I said that because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like knowing you, it definitely depends on your mood and if it happens to be somebody you really happen to like or not. But other than those two circumstances, I feel like you're in the middle where like you're like, nah, man, you got to be able to fucking rap, but you want some kind of entertainment here and there.
I think that's kind of what I'm even looking for. I want some rap, but I want some entertainment.
That's how I feel about you. That's what I'm saying. I think that's how you are.
Oh, me?
She's
I
talking about you.
Krill.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Krill. Oh, yeah. I was going to say that's exactly.
I am definitely looking for what Hayes did tonight. I love that. All of that shit. Yeah. That was fucking.
I mean, look at Ilmac. He's my favorite battle rapper of all time. Fucking hands down. I've said this before, right? And he brings exactly that. He can rap his fucking ass off and also be hilarious and bring some interesting shit, right? So yeah, you're bang on with that.
Well, whoever figures out how to juggle that is obviously up top, right?
Also, a judging question. This pertains to all the battles, especially because Kirill, I know you love to talk judging so much. And I'm not talking about judges in particular, but you know, we've talked so many times across these shows about like, should this matter? Should that matter? Again, it came up for me today that like, you know, so much of it, we talk about crowds and if there's not a crowd, small room, big room, if you're in the West and you're from the West and all these other variables. If you take away all of that, we also talk a lot about energy. I just did it for like 10 minutes. I was like, man, that Lou and Alias battle, like the energy was off and they were lacking energy. Had nothing to do with the room, had nothing to do with the crowd. That was just how coming across, right? So now with Lou, he's not high energy to begin with. So I'm not dinging him for that. Alias felt like he was off his game with the energy that came in the first round. My question is, since that is something that people point out quickly and obviously notice and feels important, is that something, Kirill, that you feel like should be quantifiable and added to judging parameters?
Stage performance? So stage presence? The way you carry yourself and the way your energy is?
Well, no, they're not mutually inclusive. I mean, you can have stage presence like a Marv, but you're not sitting there being high energy.
I think it depends on your style. Right, like I think that it worked for it. Oh, sorry, It goes case by case, but I think it depends on your style. It worked for Lou right now because of the small crowds, but I think he would struggle a lot in a bigger crowd.
So the answer is it shouldn't be part of judging criteria because you can't make it judgeable if it's only part of your personality.
It should be the way I look at judging, and I've been saying it from the beginning, right? Because I've judged thousands of songs, I've judged thousands of tracks that were written for a certain moment, blah 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 blah, right? So the way I look at the judging, I think there should be a lyrical point. There should be three criteria. There should be lyrical, there should be a flow, delivery, whatever you want to call it, if you want to summarize it all together, and there should be a stage presence, right? The first two should be judged out of 5 for sure, and the second one should be judged out of 2. That's just your personal opinion, right? So any battle would be different, but your stage presence should matter at least 1 to 2 points. So if your max is 12, your stage presence and what you do on stage should matter at least for 1 or 2 points.
Jason, you got an opinion on that?
No, I'm holding my tongue. You guys are done because I got something to talk about. I hope all that made. I
hope all that made sense. You know what I mean? Because.
No, it makes sense. I just personally feel like there's a big difference between having stage presence and having energy.
Of course, if you're standing there yelling about fucking chewing turds, you know what I mean, then it's not gonna be good, right? But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Stay in Germany.
Yeah, but that was well played too, right? That's not a rapper's rapper, right? That's just playing the fucking crowd right there. But that was good.
So here's the thing about judges.
Yeah.
Show Off tweeted. This is I'm going to read two of his tweets because they're connected. Okay. Not gonna lie, I am highly confused about this decision. Dizaster literally had 2 lines in his first and a bunch of filler. Salute to Eyez, man. Sports analysts don't play the sport, they analyze. Salute to the KOTD staff. We may need judges that aren't battle rappers to judge. Hold up, there's a part 2 to this. I feel like battle rap is too mixy for a battle rapper to be a judge. We don't know who's who, we don't know who knows who, and for that reason, they shouldn't be allowed to judge, especially if they're from a similar or same league. Now, there is definitely some truth to that because, there's okay. Let's stick to combat sports. Amy, as far as I know, Mike Goldberg is no Muay Thai expert. He can do his job just fine. John Anik is not fucking Royce Gracie. Now, those are analysts, right? Speaking in terms of judges,
I mean, a lot of them train, but
we've had our Cell D'Amatos,
that's what I told
our
him
Cecil
before
Peoples.
too. I think that they still got to be involved in some sort of training.
They're all terrible, right? But then we get a Ricardo Almeida who gets in there and he does a great job. But Ricardo's not fucking judging Frankie Edgar's fight, right? So, what do you think about what Show Off saying that? Because I feel like there's definitely something there, but at the same time, it's like where Rome picked Diz. And the 3 of us pick Eyez, and it's like, well, Roan, you probably know a little bit more about this shit than I do. But at the same time, it's like I kind of know a little bit too, right? So I think there's a point to both sides of that. But picking one or the other, do you think there is a better way to go? Do you not use battlers, but people who know the culture, or do you think it might be better to use battlers because they know what it's like to be in that ring?
I mean, personally, I think that there is honestly a case to be made for both. I think that on the one hand, look back to our Penn marathon, right? And he's sitting here listing off Team Hami people, half of which we were like, oh, word, right? So, and these are very visible people. And some of them we were still like, wait a minute. So like how deep do some of these connections run? How deep is the history between people that aren't the top faces that everybody knows everything about? There's a lot to be said for that, but I genuinely think. But on the other hand, there's so much of it that's subjective, especially when it comes to style. Like, how do you write? What kind of rapper are you? What kind of presence do you have? Like Kirill's just saying, there are so many things that I feel like a battle rapper would understand the nuances of more than somebody who doesn't or has never done it. But at the same time, I feel like there's still people and they're still going to have their opinions, even if they have no allegiance to any particular person. They are going to have, opinions or preferences on things that may not be what matters the most when you're judging a judged battle. So to me, it's kind of like one of those things where, politicians are also people, right? They vote a certain way. They belong to a political party. They can't exercise that publicly and talk about it and be unfair when they're doing their jobs. But to keep that in mind, there are checks and balances, there are rules, regulations, guidelines, etc. And so I feel like that's the whole point of having this rubric in this tournament. So I feel like if you can make the rubric really cut and dry and specific enough and have people actually stick to it genuinely, that's the best route. Because let's take the flip side. You take a big fan or somebody that's been involved in the culture but doesn't know dick about writing or anything like that, and you give them that rubric, they may not have any a biased bone in their body, but they may not pick up on 50% of most of the intricate shit or what multis mean or what kind of scheme, you know what I mean? So I think the knowledge that comes with being a battle rapper is invaluable to critiquing and to judging. But I think that the rest of the being a human side of it is really hard for anybody to get past. So the rubric, to me, is the best choice they've made if they're going to have battlers judging. And frankly, I don't know who else they would have judging.
I agree with pretty much all of that, and I just was gonna finish up on that thing that we started earlier. Like I was, like I was saying with the judging system. Let's say there's a 12-point judging system, right? Out of 5 points, you should be judged for lyrics. Out of 5 points, you should be judged for your flow and performance, right? And those 2 points that are left, it's your stage presence. Well, you want to call it whatever you want. You want to call it energy, you call it energy, call it stage presence, whatever it is. Those are the 2 points given to the judge to decide whatever the fuck he wants to put in there for himself, for his personal opinion, where he should be concentrated and be as unbiased as he can to be judged the first two criteria. The last 2 points out of the 12 is given to the judge to be a person. The first two he should be judging as literally no emotion attached, right? And all of that comes with practice, right? The more people judge, the more there's going to be favorites out of the judges because the crowd will see who, you know what I mean? There will be majority agreeing, but well, there's obvious decision or where somebody takes sides or preferences, you know what I mean? It all takes time. It doesn't matter if you're a battle rapper or if you're a deep enough fan, right? Because only time will show if after you judge 10 battles, people will see if you're a good judge or not. There's no other way of telling, I think.
I just cannot emphasize strongly enough how much I feel that if you want these 2 points to be your say in it, to be your opinion and you're the people side, get a fucking podcast, bro. Start a Twitter.
No. Because
let me finish. You've been on this 12-point must system for 20 fucking minutes now.
No, it's not a must. It's what I know. It's what I know.
I'm not shitting on you, but hear me out. If you want to have an opinion, you're welcome to your opinion.
But that's why.
But when you have
there's arguments and edges. When people say, "Oh, I edged it," instead of saying I edged it, I gave him 2 in that.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, if you're really laying down the if they did it that way, and you're really going, okay, no, you get this needs to be.
In no way I'm proposing that this is what they should do. I'm just saying what I know. In your
example, don't be so defensive. I'm just making a point. If your theoretical fairy tale magical land, if it was Kirill's tournament, possible setup. That's what it would be. Okay. In that circumstance, you go, okay, here's the 10 points you cannot waver on. You have to go by the book. Here's all the rules. Here's how it works. Here's how to score it. Here's where you get to choose between this and this and this. Yes. The last 2 points you get to have.
After that judge went through judging 10 battles, those 2 extra points will allow people to decide if that's a good judge or not. Because they will see what kind of decision he makes on his own with his preference, right?
Nope, absolutely not. And that's my point. Because that does not tell you, those 2 points over the course of 10 battles don't tell you if he's a good judge or not. The 10 points tell you.
It just tells you his preference pretty much.
The 10 points tell you if the judge is a good judge or not. The 2 points tells you what kind of entertainment or style or rapping they personally like. Now, if you have 5 judges who have the same opinion judging some shit, and it's close battles throughout the entire tournament, what happens? The 4 guys, 6 guys, however many people are battling that day, that happen to have similar styles, that happen to have similar writing abilities, that happen to have the same kind of cadence, happen to win all of the fucking battles.
But it happens anyways. I'm just being honest about it.
Disagree. I don't know. The whole point of judging is not to go, who do you as a person want to be the winner?
No. This is
who is better.
Maybe I'm wording it wrong. It's more of a. It is more personated to the judge, yes, but you still have to stay in some sort of criteria. You can't just be a dick and say Dizaster is my friend. He's getting 2.
but that's what will happen.
Yeah.
That's exactly
no. It should still be explained. I just gave it to you cut and dry, like you said, just boom right there, right easy. But if we get into this, we can write a book about this shit. Like this.
I'm not editing it.
This.
I'm not editing that shit.
This thing's been worked out in years of practice, right? And it works, but it works for a different thing. I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? Just trying to, what do you call it? Connect it, relate it to what's happening right now.
Well, but I think that's a good connection to make, because I think that's where a lot of people are coming from on Diz. You know, like, to speak to your example, if I'm a judge,
see, for example, if I would have, how would you? how would you judge? Let's do a quick one. Still, fuck it, it's our show, right? Might as well stretch it a little bit. What's how would you judge? Let's say a 12-point system, right? Let's say it is in Hayes. How would you judge that, right? Like, let's say that, I'll do mine quick, right? I'd say that they both did excellent on lyrics, so I'd give them 5 in that both, and I would give 5 to Hayes for his performance in a second out of 5, and I would give 4 to this and that, and I would give 2 to Hayes, and I would give 1 to this.
So, first
You know
of
what
all,
I'm saying? So it'd be
no,
5, 4,
because
1.
that
It
was a
would be.
mess. But what I was
I
first
don't.
of all,
Sorry.
no,
I
because
tried.
no. Like what you said was basically 5 points are only towards lyrics, 5 points are for performance, and then 2 points are just who you like better, right?
No. Overall, this is your overall opinion on the whole
No, but
thing.
that's basically what you just broke it down to, right?
What I'm trying to say is 5 points is for the lyrics, 5 points is for your flow and for your delivery, and the 2 points are given to you to judge an overall performance of it all. Did it work together or not? Did the crowd react?
Okay,
You know what I
so
mean?
yeah.
All of those things are put in these 2 points. Of your personal opinion, how do you think this man did within those 2 points?
Okay, so yes. So your answer is yes. 5 points for lyrics, 5 points for flow, delivery, and performance, and 2 points for your opinion. So,
Yes.
all right. So the first thing I will say is
I feel like it's doing me apart because of my lack of English.
Round 6 on you,
No,
Amy.
I hate how much you think your English is not good because your English is very good. But anyway,
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, man.
that's fucked up. That's bullshit. But no, the 2 things I will say is this. My example that I didn't get to was if I'm one of your judges and I'm judging a Pat Stay battle or an Ilmac battle, they're getting my 2 points unless the absolute world shatters from whoever they're battling because they have the performance, they have flow, they have delivery. Unless they have the worst night of their life,
So the next guy better bring his fucking A game to get on your good side and get some of those 2 points too, right?
No, because I've already made my decision. I already know that I like what they do. So, and that's what I'm
That's
saying.
not, look, sorry. I'm not trying to. Sorry, just because I got this point. Like in a battle with Dot Everything and Snake Eyes.
I'm not.
I would have.
I'm doing 3 battles.
No, I'm just saying. I would have given Dot Everything 2 for his performance in the first round. But then I would have given the same point to Snake Eyes in the first round too, and it would have came down to the 2 other rounds. You know what I mean? But it could be the same. They could both impress me and get 2 in this criteria. The end goal is to have different for all 3 rounds, right? So your end goal has to be.
Yes, that's a great goal. The entire point of this conversation is that humans are going to human. You are talking about 2 battlers you know nothing about that you don't watch and have no particular opinion on. It is very easy for you to be fair in that particular instance. That is not the case in battle rap. These people are so ingrained, is my point. So like with Hayes and Diz, hey, I felt like for what each of them do in their own ways that they were both on point with their lyrics.
Fuck it, scratch my system. Give it out of 2 points to how they work, how well they work with the crowd. Boom.
There was no crowd.
Well, that's the shit part about it right now. But I'm saying, if we're dreaming, let's just go all the way, man. Fuck.
We got 12 points in the crowd now.
Well, I mean, then you're doing the Twitch vote. So I mean, it's the same thing. But the point, my entire point, maybe it wasn't clear. My entire point is to use your example with Diz and Hayes. I'm with you. I would give them equal lyrics, equal performance, equal flow, equal delivery. But I prefer Hayes. That's it. The last 2 points go to Hayes, and I spent the first 10 minutes of the show explaining why. So, but that is how people are. I mean, you're sitting here going,
but that's what happens anyways, because people say, "Oh, I edged it to Dizaster, or I edged it to Hayes."
I know
that age is still it's still within the same shit we're talking about. It just I don't know. We can talk about this forever, but I'll agree with you.
I mean, the conversation always comes up around these particular battles because, and I'm not saying it happens every single time, but
it's just a lot of nuances, right? People will be people, obviously, but there's a lot of explanation that goes into those 2 points. It's not that just blunt and simple that I like them or he's already good so he gets it, right? There's more that goes into it, and there's obviously going to be hiccups since we're doing it already and we're having crowd and all that shit.
Well, no, I think that it's worth pointing out that these conversations come up more often and more fervently when it's
and
a
should.
When it
maybe,
when it's
maybe
when
these days we'll start
if I don't finish my sentence, I'm gonna hang the fuck up on you. This comes up on every show. It comes up much more severely when it's a Diz battle in the West. Is my point.
Yeah. But
Yes.
that's again, his popularity is just insane, right?
That's not even your point. That's a fucking fact.
Yeah, I mean that's not an
That's a
opinion.
fact. Yeah, that is 100%.
But
Do you
that
think
can happen
you think
anyway.
he won today again because it was Cali?
No, I don't. I think at this point you got to respect what the judges are saying. They've done trials with these judges, except for Roan through this tournament, and Q, I guess. But Hemi's been there. Obviously, Boss Chick Rain's been there. I know a lot of people are calling for Ben Swayze. For whatever reason, he didn't do it. I don't know if you can say that would make a difference. That's the same as like, what if Nameless was there? We don't fucking know. I think you gotta start to trust the process at this point. So I don't think that it was some sort of Cali fucking ripoff or anything like
At
that.
the end of the day, it's still opinionated. You gotta agree. You gotta agree that it's opinionated because when the guys are that good, it comes to a point where they are good at all aspects, and you have to make an opinion almost pretty much based on your own taste, on your own, you know what I mean? Because that's what it comes down to. Because both of them did great.
But back to combat sports. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy and you're an MMA judge and the fight's even, but you saw a little more jiu-jitsu to this guy, even if you're trying not to lean towards it, you probably will. Because you, like you just said, Krill, it's your opinion.
But then again, but we're talking about practice in the ring, right? So if you've seen something that you prefer better in the ring, then it's still a human factor.
Exactly.
It's still a human factor.
Exactly.
No matter what.
Yep. So we got Saynt versus. Are you guys done your unlimited rounds yet? You guys done fucking trying to battle Solcon and Diz for the longest battle ever?
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed my ass off when Lush was like, "I think Diz is still battling Solcon right now."
He may be in his own head. He might. But we got Diz versus Saynt, the semifinalists to move on. Next week we get the rest of the semifinalists. We got Murder versus Excel. And Marv 1 versus. Why do I forget every? Murder in Times.
Murder in
XL,
Times.
Marv and XL. So I don't know. We don't need to preview that too much, but we know 2 semifinalists. We got already Saynt versus Diz. I don't even know if I'm ready to speak about it yet because I'm really excited, but fuck, that's a rough one. Saynt's gonna have to come with a lot.
Experience is going to mean a lot in this one.
That's what I mean.
We're going to get more Diz bars about how experienced he is.
Oh, who knows? We might get John Jones versus Shogun.
Bro.
Remember what happened there?
Come on.
23-year-old John Jones opens with a flying knee and just starts fucking Shogun up. Everyone's like, the pride legend, the champ, the vet. He's getting fucking smoked.
Dude, how are you going to do Shogun like that?
Well, you said that
Shogun tapped the strikes last night.
You mentioned that Saynt's performance today was not as good as you would expect it to be, or wanted it to be.
Not expected it, because who the fuck might expect anything from him?
You wanted it to be.
Yeah, I did think that there would be a lot more heat coming out of both of them, based on their performances in this tournament.
The reason I'm saying that is because I think that's gonna put a spark under his ass more. I think it's gonna be better this time around because if you felt that way, I'm sure he felt that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And he seems like he knows what he's talking about. He's gonna, you know what I mean. He's gonna reevaluate this battle, and I think he's gonna come back strong. And Diz is gonna do what Diz does.
You imagine new words are gonna be said combined in that fucking battle?
All of the words.
All of the fucking words,
dude. Not only that. The movement in that bat, like somebody's gonna take flight.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No shit.
That's right. There's gonna be hands all over the place.
No shit.
Like it's gonna be like somebody's about to just fly off into space.
No, but that's gonna be intense. That's a hard one to fucking. I just let that ride until it's over and then talk about it.
Yeah, and another thing too, like where Eyez going at like Diz saying, when there's trouble or whatever, you don't get active, you call active. A lot of their boys, they have a lot of the same friends, a lot of mutual friends, the Saynt and Diz. So, they can't go off in each other's crew too much, or there's not going to be like, you're from the south or the east or the north, or oh,
that's right. I'm just cluing in that they're both from the same place.
Yeah. And they got a lot of the same homies and shit. I assume Diz's approach is going to be complete big brother approach. Like, you know what? I believe you, little guy.
He's gonna son him.
That's a little too obvious.
Yeah. He's gonna pat him on his head. And shit.
He's gonna son him. Totally, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think his approach would be. But Diz is so goddamn unpredictable. fucking, we never know what we're gonna get, right? Either way, it's gonna be fucking dope.
I think he'll spend a lot of time giving him props too, because that's a no lose situation for Diz. Either he's my dude and he's a young guy coming up, and I'm the old guy helping him, or I just told y'all how great he was, and look at me body him.
Yeah.
But this is quarterfinals now, right?
Semis we're going into.
Semis.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's room for props here.
He gave some to Eyez.
Yeah, but this is a step further though. Still.
Yeah.
This should be murder.
I mean, look, the more I talk you up, the better I look when I kill you.
Exactly.
Maybe.
If I talk so much shit about you, everybody thinks you're a pile of dog shit. I'm not doing the most by beating you.
I'm just pulling shit out of my ass. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And at this point, it's one battle away from the 50K battle.
Right.
That experience has to play into effect.
What do we got next week?
I don't know. What kinds of shit? We'll figure it out.
All right.
So I think considering this is the longest recap we've done yet, you guys had a limited rounds. I assume neither one of you have any more words to say at all about anything. You guys want to talk about PS5? Like,
I got crossover coming in January.
Oh, Kirill, plugging new albums.
Why not?
Amy's got bread in the oven. Not a bun in the oven.
Yeah,
not a bun in the oven. She has bread in the oven. Yeah, actual bread, yeast, flour. That. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right, that was smooth.
See, trying to cover it up.
Wow.
Now people probably start hitting you up. Congratulations on your pregnancy, Amy. Didn't even know you were seeing anyone.
Right.
Hit her up. She's having twins.
Oh shit.
It'll be hilarious if someone does actually hit you all this. But no, the quarterfinals. What do we call this now? Is this round one of the quarterfinals?
Pretty much. No, this is the West Coast. Oh no, yeah, this is the round one of quarterfinals.
Or what are we in now? Are we in round three? But it's the quarterfinals.
No, actually, the rounds should keep going. So it's round three.
Round three. We're in round three. So what's next week? Round 4 quarterfinals? Or round 3 quarterfinals?
No, round 3.
Jeez, I was thinking about typing up the blurb today, and I was like, fucking, what do I even call this? What round are we in? Are we round 3, part 1? Either way, the fans will figure it out. And, dope event. Can't wait for next week's round 3 quarterfinals part 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then we're into the semis to find out what's what, and then on to the 50K fucking bag.
And the world championship that none of us know a fucking thing about.
Well, there's a couple people that know. There's a couple people. We're gonna see. The problem
none
is
of us.
we're gonna have to go to Australia, get Steve or some shit. Someone who knows. Actually, fucking Troy's not too far from me and Krill. We might have to go kidnap him tonight.
Oh, that's right. He's like around the corner.
Yeah, we have to go kidnap that motherfucker and extort him. You're gonna tell us what it is. Then again, we heard his story about not getting in the States, so I don't know if I want to fuck with that. He's not allowed in other countries. I don't know where we'll end up. Could all end up bad. But yeah, world champion, KOTD, whatever the fuck this. We'll find out what that is. Either way, we're closing on the end. The pressure is turning up. Stay tuned. Live every Sunday on Twitch, KOTD Grand Prix. For Amy Barton, Kirill Kasatskiy, I'm Jay Kelly. This is The Building Downtown. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Building downtown, building downtown, building downtown, building downtown.